This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about a little bit what I was doing on the myprotein weekend, a protein bar review, and why barbells in every single exercises are overrated. In 3, 2, 1. Damn, I just spent 200 grand on my interior designing. Looks good, doesn't it?
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall. What I want to know is how Theresa May fucked up the PM's flat so much that he had to spend £200,000 in air quotes of his own money to redo it.
That guy I'm convinced he's ruined. He's done.
That guy is a buffoon.
He's so done. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get how he can try and do that. I think how bad is a taste of every single prime minister as well, that every year you have to spend 30 grand on it to redo it. Like how are you fucking up that badly?
Remember when we used to do rental properties, you would dare scrape the side or you're not allowed to paint it or anything like that because you're like, I don't want to piss off the landlord.
It's mad.
Can go house.
Yeah.
Theresa May wasn't even there that long, was she? So
no, but you see, I think can they take it with them? So if she buys all the furniture in there, can she then take it? So that obviously they have to replenish some stuff, but you can't take the whole kitchen units with you, can you? Do you know, what?
I mean, the representation of the flat, which was on the crown, and I'm taking this as fact.
That is gospel then.
The representation of that flat where old Maggie Thatcher used to entertain and cook for the cabinet of certain members. It didn't look that good. It didn't look like a nice flat, to be fair. Understand it, because the Downing Street's more like White House, isn't it? It's it's got the living quarters, but it's mostly fucking offices and stuff like that, and people that are in there. The flat's somewhere around there. But is it reported 200 grand? But people were saying it's only 30, and it was all his own money. But then he says he didn't did he not put forward 50 grand for tax? He accidentally put it through his account, which it didn't get taxed or something. And I'm like, here I am making as taxable as possible to buy a flat in London.
Mate, they're all as corrupt as anyone. Honestly, it makes you skin crawl. It's just frustrating, but there's nothing that we can do. They're in charge, it's stupid.
Anyway, we're open. We're opening up. We're COVID free. I had a test on Friday, so I'm COVID free. Lovely job. What's been happening in your world?
Yeah, mate, we're all good. Nothing crazy going on here. Just ticking along nicely. It's very nice to be back in the gym. Has to be said. I think that's the one thing I think everyone's feeling, but I think everyone's probably starting to notice it a little bit more now. It's actually really nice just to be back lifting heavy. Everyone probably feels good. I don't know if anyone else is. I'm feeling bigger, stronger, all those sorts of things. It's it's cool.
I just thought you were sitting closer to your computer today, but you're definitely.
My fleece, you can really tell. But just little things it's already feel leaner, already feel better, stronger, all those things, and I think a lot of my clients are noticing it as well, which is good. It's just nice, it's just nice to see people back and enjoying all the good things that come with, the gym and eating well and all that sort of stuff. Still haven't eaten out yet, but
to be fair, it's a weird thing as well, because I would say I eat out a lot, and me and Chloe just haven't. We've been super, super, super busy with work, but it's also the fact is you can only kind of go out for lunch because those are the times that it's actually warm to eat outside, and then you go for an evening meal. Everything's booked up anyway, but it's actually really cold, and I'd rather be inside. So I feel like I might eat. We went for brunch 2 weekends ago. That's about it. I don't think Chloe's seen her mates, but it's really sad, isn't it? Meant to have eaten out. Oh, the first time open, I literally haven't been. I've ordered takeaway a couple of times, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait till I can go inside the restaurant. To be honest,
I think it's also the whole like booking thing, isn't it? You got to book everything so far in advance. Like around here, all the decent places they're booked up for 3 weekends in a row. It's like, well,
yeah,
unless you want to go on a Monday at 3 o'clock, you can't really get any. It's just like I'm just not bothered. I'll just wait. Like,
yeah, I just
strange
yeah,
one.
you can't do that. Basically, the amount of work we've got going on, just like clients is fine, but the PTC work is obviously full whack right now because we're edging ever closer to our launch. So we're already launched, but launch a new product. So some of the stuff is looking cool. We'll be releasing snippets of it. I think the people who are part of our membership program have already seen the one of the screening videos, of which there are like 14, but yeah, just one of them. So we're going through this, and every single time me and Luke, like, we had a like half an hour meeting because it's so confusing, like building out these things, and it's like there's like I don't know how many. There's meant to be only about like 9 units, right? But within the units, there's must be 10 to 15 lessons per one, and then that's like possibly 15 to 25 minutes of video or whatever per lesson, and it's not all the same video. It'll be like Tom in front, and then we'll cut to stuff that's in the gym, and then we'll cut back to Tom who's doing this, and it's like and then all the design elements that's going on, and then there's like working titles and trying to I don't know, because you've got your graphic designer, you got me, you got Luke, you got the operational person who has to read for everything, and then Gordon, who just likes hiding files for no apparent reason. Yeah. Where have you put it, Gordon? In the one that says videos. Brilliant. Proofs, this one, that one. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, who knew that building such a big course would be such a ball ache?
I could have guessed, to be honest.
I mean, once it's done, it's done, I guess. Like that's on the end, but it'd be really cool. Basically, you'll be also seeing in the next, I'm guessing the next few weeks as well. So we have hired a digital marketing agency to work with us, and we will be the Gymshark of education providers. We will be the coolest education provider, if that's a thing out there. So, and to be honest, the competition is not big.
Yeah.
So most of them are just like them, like a student, like holding up the certificate, like. So we're making it as Gymsharky, choppy, and all this kind of stuff. Really cool, all the videos. So we're gonna fucking smash it. So yeah, watch this space. The content might be shit, but our adverts will be good.
You just need to get some roided up influencers. Next. There you go.
Mate, we've got all our students are our influencers, of course. Mate, I'm an influencer right now. Look, I'm repping my protein PT.
Such a shill. Such a shill.
It's mainly because I described the Saturday morning was like stash day at football, and if you've worked in gym environments and sports environments, like you know that the kit turns up on a certain day or whatever, and basically you got your bag day. And then it's like grab the stash. Normally, if there's a kit man, it's nice. They'd laid it out in the sizes and everything, like shared it amongst everything. But then there was I don't know whether you had it at Brentford. We had like a container truck that was just always full of spare kit, and it was just like it's huge, like the size of a flat, just full of stuff. So it didn't really matter if you didn't have anything. You'd like, I forgot my top. Off we go. I'll get 6 more.
It was all about getting your initials on it, there, wasn't it? That was the big thing for me. That was when I knew I made it. Like everyone, I remember when I was I did it at Reading and also then at Hull when I got my full-time job. I wasn't bothered about the salary or anything. I just wanted my initials. Well, my initials on the kit, yeah, cool. That's all I care about. Because that means I'm a real member of staff. If that happens, you're real. Like
intern, I didn't get it. Like when I was full time, I did.
When I was once at Reading. We got initials because again, I think the guy who employed us, because we were working for fuck all money, obviously, he understood. He understood the value of that, and he was like, they'll feel part of the team. And I think, you could have offered us $1,000 for the whole internship or initials on our kit, and we'd have taken initials on our kit every day, every day. But it's important to feel part of it, I suppose, from that point of view. But yeah, I remember I was at Hull City coming in and it being laid out for you. It's just a different vibe, mate.
It's good. Vibe. Did you? Because obviously I started with the academy, and I was mainly there, but drifted in and out. Did you have different coaching kit for like under 21 academy to first team?
No, coaching kit was all the same. Playing kit was different. Playing kit was different.
We had different coaching kits. So it was
I think the
weird.
sponsors were different, to be fair, actually. Maybe the sponsors might have been different. So technically it was different. But
it was like all grey and white for like academy and like whatever. And then it was red and grey. You had the red for Brentford on the home, like not the home, the seniors. So when you knew you were working with senior, I was like, I've got to put this one on today. Oh yeah. Like lovely job.
You know you're special.
It was good. But yeah, mate, all wonderful. Basically, we'll give her a little review. I'm hoping. I'll tell them to. If any of the myprotein lot are listening to this show, they've discovered that I have a podcast, maybe. Yeah, well done, guys. Everybody passed their level 2s. Wonderful. Almost got 10 new PTs into the world. They got another 5 weeks, and we do it all again. Same place in London, Bosch. Off we go. It was a nice little setup as well. So they had a whole day of me and Luke, about 85% me, 15% Luke, because
sounds pretty awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful, isn't it? So talking through everything. So we did a whole day of basically coaching and making sure they go out in the real world properly, be able to do stuff, which we're going to cover in a bit. So about favorite lifts, more with the title. But yeah, it was good. Like I haven't done, especially because assessments for me and for the last 5 years have been involved in like obviously third space employing. So I would have had a hand in employing nearly every trainer all the way through. I would have seen them anyway. And yeah, it's quite a different assessment from doing your level 2 assessment, me standing there doing this. There's just certain criteria and stuff like that you have to tick off. Just quite funny, like the whole, you have to go on a little cardio machine at the start of the workout. I'm like, which one are you doing? Okay. I'm like, just for this, you have to do this. But obviously we explained, we're like, when you're training, this is horseshit. And then we did coaching cueing as well. So there's the acronym. Did you see this? The acronym of NASTY. The NASTY acronym, how to coach people. So it's like, so NASTY, I believe, I mean, I have to teach this, but obviously then I was like, after this is horseshit. So it's name the exercise, I believe. So name it. So N. Then there's A, which is adjustments. So make adjustments to the machine or make any adjustments you need to, like put the cable down or something like that. And then the S stands for, the most ludicrous part of this is silent demonstration. It's so weird. You're like, here's the machine, lovely person that I've been training for the last 45 minutes. Then I'm going to make some adjustments and keep chatting to you. Please hold the line whilst I do my exercise. Totally ignore your client. Just do a few reps. Just really creepy and weird. And now we're back in the room. So it's silent demonstration. Then the T, I believe, is for teach or something. Technique, teach. So you coach them that. You only have to. So you have to do a few reps pristinely before you're allowed to start talking about it. And then Y is for your turn. So the client's turn. So they have to do that for every single exercise. It's really funny. Yeah, and then we were like, mate, forget that silent demonstration bit and adjustments. You just like, you do that anyway. You know, it doesn't have to be a tick box. So funny because we teach position, technique, or teach and coach. So yeah, strange, Daniel. Who knew? I have seen people do that though. There is one person in the gym who is very old school, who still does the old silent demonstration thing all the time, and I always giggle. And I'm like, why have you stopped talking? You were talking 2 seconds ago, and then just because you did that.
I'm just so glad that when we were at third space, when Martin was there, I remember rocking up. I remember someone, I think it was someone in HR, or some manager, someone. And they were going right. It was a team meeting. Everyone was like, "Oh, I need a copy of everyone's level 3 certificate or whatever." And like, we were just sat there and like, "We ain't got one, mate. I haven't got one. What are you on about?" And Martin was like, "BA, they've got a master's degree in sports science. Give it a rest. Like, jog on, kind of thing like that." Because I never had to go for any of that. I haven't done my level 2, level 3 PT. Like, it's like, I've done more than that, mate. Like, and it's just like one of those things where it fascinates me that people like, and I suppose people wear it as a badge of honor. I get that because you have to have done these things. But when it comes to like, insurance. The reason you need your PT qualification is to be insured, to be able to do what you do. You've got public liability insurance, so if anything goes wrong, you know, if you get sued, you don't end up with nothing. But you need that insurance to be able to coach people, and you need a qualification to be able to do that. But people forget that if you've got a master's degree in sports science, that counts, believe it or not, as some sort of qualification. Likewise, if you've got, I'm pretty sure if you've got a normal degree, it probably counts higher than a level 3 PT, you know, would. I think it's just important to remember that. I think sometimes people look at level 3 PT as like a you know, the gold standard or something. It's like, it's not. It's just you have to have a qualification to be able to get insurance, to be able to be employed in a gym or to be in a gym and coach people.
Yeah.
And it always fascinating because I never had to do any of that shit. I just picked it all up as I went along, from working in football, from, you know, uni a bit, but it's literally experience. It's just, oh, so what I've never, for example, would have ever done a silent demonstration. I'd have gone, so this is the name of the exercise, whatever, and you go, this is how you would do it. And then you'd start doing it whilst talking to your client about maybe what they need to be thinking when they're doing it. Yeah. I'm so glad, because I think if I had to have gone through it, I'd have just been like, what? And everyone I've ever had ask me about PT qualifications, I've always said the same thing. I was like, just do whatever they tell you to do, and once it's done, come back and I'll teach you how to do it all properly, because it's just about like, it's like your driving test. You know, who holds the and goes around corners like this on a steering wheel? And you can't. No one does. No one does. But that's how you have to do it on the chest. And it's just that thing of, it's just like the test. And then you actually learn how to coach properly. Then you learn how to coach properly, and you fuck off all that nasty shit. And you just do it properly. Again, even with names, like, I don't think I would, I hand on heart, think I probably only would give the name of an exercise if people really asked for it. If they really asked for it, because they don't care. They've employed you to tell them what to do. Hold this kettlebell, please. Hold it here, move your foot back that way, lunge backwards, come back. What's this called? Technically, it's called a kettlebell front rack reverse lunge. Do you give a fuck about that? No, you don't. Right. It's a reverse lunge backwards. Thank you. It's like, I don't get it. I just don't. Oh, it baffles me. It baffles me. The industry sometimes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is interesting, because in the spectrum of education, yeah, a bachelor's degree is level 6. So, and level 3 is level 3. So, yeah. So there's like foundation degrees and diplomas and stuff that sit in between that. So, in terms of how you've got your level 4s, that's the specialist areas and stuff like that. Then level 5s would be foundational degree. Level 6 is bachelor's degree. Level 7, me and you sit, Daniel, is the master's degree stuff. So, yeah.
Sorry about level 7. Sorry about being a level 7. Don't worry about it.
It's all right. Yeah. But I remember that when... they first base asked. I think they asked like a while ago as well for my level 3, and I was just like, I never did it. They're like, what? I was like, I teach it. I'm a qualified instructor and tutor for it, but I've got the content. I know how to teach it, but I've never done it. But obviously for that, reps or whoever they are now, SimSpa just gave it to me for free. They were like, yeah. I was like, I can send you my master's degree. Is that all right? Oh, yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I was just like, I think you can probably get it with a certain amount of experience as well. Like if you're a bit like S&C and stuff like that. I think some of the universities used to do it as like an add-on as well. Some of the good ones. They'd be like, oh, you can do your gym instructor and your level 3 personal trainer on the side of your sports science degree. Which I would, if anybody's doing that, I would implore them to do it, because it's just a straight up way of making money when you're a student. Like, easy. Like you get hopefully get a few clients or whatever, earning what doesn't even matter what, cash in hand, bosh, off you go. You got some drinking money. Be great just for practicing your craft a little bit.
Easy.
Definitely something I would have done if I knew about it. I declined in doing. I did sports massage instead as my side, and then I hated it. So yeah, I was like, I'm not going to be massaging blokes all day. Thank you. So yeah, as soon as you go to professional football, they're like, you're massage qualified. Yeah, physio. Off you come, Tom. Like, no, I want to go back to the computer. Yeah, I'd rather clean out the protein shakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. I did sport. I think I did coaching. I think I did a coaching, like a sports coaching module, rather than like better. I could have done PT.
Yeah. I did a coaching sciences one as well in my last year, I believe. I did my nutrition one.
Probably helped me out, to be fair, but you know.
Took nothing from that. Nutrition one was bonkers. I never liked going.
There's no burgers in this. What the hell is this all about?
What are you talking about? What is this silly names that you're giving everybody? This is too sciencey. What? Mouth, bum. That's all you need to know.
What? What's
Proteins.
that say?
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what he says.
moving into proteins. Have you got a protein bar?
I've only got 2 left. I ordered some more protein pantry today, by the way.
I've only got
just to eat.
I've only got 1, and I'm probably going to be contractually obliged to say this is yummy. So
I've got Snickers white and Snickers peanut butter, but I feel like I've already done these on here.
No,
have I not?
You've not done either of them. No, you've not done either of them. Unless you've done them on your own, like Instagram. You've not done either of those on.
Well, I've already had a peanut butter one today, so I'll do the white one.
That's what I was like. I've already had a protein bar today, and like obviously, like all the full weekend. So the guys that we had all weekend, we had so much protein stuff and so much like myprotein product.
I bet.
And my farts. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ, poor Chloe. It was. It was not a good thing because you're like they're just there, and I was just like I kept on just having them because I didn't really have time for lunch to run away or anything like that. And I was like, it was like a really full schedule. I must have had about 4 protein bars and then about 3 of those cans of I don't know BCAA crap. I was just like, I did not feel good in the evening.
Mate, just letting you know right now, Tom. Just letting you know, mate, that on the Protein Pantry website, Caramazon Crunch and birthday cake both in stock as we speak.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm not going to do it mid. Dan orders mid podcast. I won't do that.
Get on this shit quick.
All right. So protein bar review. We got So actually, a couple of my trainers had asked me about this bar. I'm on dual screen. I can't which one I'm on that one. What? And apparently this one's good. They did have some brownies and stuff I had from myprotein. They were nice. Like they're all like layered things. Apparently, so I think the myprotein bars are coming a thing. Yeah, but we also have to live in the world that Protein Pantry exists, and so the top scores are just like sorry.
I mean, why if myprotein, anyone at myprotein listens to this, which they won't, they should just buy Protein Pantry and just churn them out.
I don't know, Darren, who's head of the myprotein personal trainer scheme and the marketing bit.
Get on them.
Get on that.
And when you do, when you become billionaires, give us a percentage because I'm giving you.
So yeah, what have you got? Snickers white.
Snickers white, yeah. Snickers high protein white. It is
high protein. Lovely.
Yeah, it's got 20 grams of protein, 233 calories, so about normal for a protein bar. About normal. We're looking at a blend of milk protein, soya protein, and whey protein, which is pretty standard. It's got peanuts in it. Be aware, peanuts in it. Kind of expensive.
For Snickers, I fucking hope somebody who would know that. All right. Whilst Dan enjoys that, a white bar can be questionable sometimes. White chocolate, not always a fan. So we got a myprotein layered treat without the cheat. It's a chocolate sundae edition. 20 grams of protein. What we got? I feel like they're pretty caloric. No, it's not too bad. I think because my girlfriend said they were really caloric, I trusted her in thinking, but I don't think she can work out the per 100 grams bit and the 60 grams what the actual bar is. So obviously per 100 grams is 365 calories. I think that's what she's quoted to me. And I was like, really? That seems quite a lot for a bar. I was like, it's 219 grams per bar. So yeah, and 20.4 grams of protein. Chocolate sundae.
So the white Snickers it's okay. Good to okay. But it's not as good as the white chocolate salted peanut from Grenade. So that wins, unfortunately, out of those two. Similar taste, obviously very peanutty. Bit chewier than the Grenade one. I would choose the Grenade over that every day of the week. So
okay. So I think we have to be on these type of bars. I think like the Grenades were the ones that like the mass produced kind of stuff you go for. I can take my protein top off here. I would buy this instead of a grenade. So the top of the sundae thing is like a gooey brownie at the top. So it's like gooey brownie and then goes into some caramelly stuff, I think. And then some like just normal chocolate. That's obviously where the protein is because that's a bit firmer. Oh, and it's got some Crispies. Classic. It's got some Crispies in it. So which is quite nice.
I can work with that. Yeah, I can work with that.
Yeah, so it's got a little bit of crunch. So chocolate sundae. It's good. I like the layers. Layers and Crispies are always good. That's a good recipe for bars. So you need at least 2 layers and you need some crisp in it, I think, to make it. So you just need different texture, basically. Not like fucking soft and fucking hard, like some crunch to smooth and stuff like that. So I like that. I'll give it a solid 7. It's a solid 7 on the rankings, I think.
Snickers is about 6.5.
6.5. It's not bad, but yeah, it's not fantastic. And we obviously premise this to mainstream bars. Okay, you're gonna buy them from mainstream vendors, the protein pantries and patisseries and all this kind of stuff Nikki's Fit Kitchen, that kind of stuff are bespoke, basically, aren't they?
Maybe 6.5 is a bit harsh. Maybe 7, but it's
7.
It's just not one of the best. It's not going to make anyone's top 5. That ever.
No.
Ever.
Poor them. Poor Snickers. If you had a real Snickers, then maybe. No.
Well, exactly. I just rather have a real white chocolate Snickers because they are incredible. So, there you go.
All right. Let's swiftly move on, Daniel, to the point we're doing this show because So one of the things I teach on the kind of supportive weekend for these guys is we go through some squats, some deadlifts, some pushes. So we did some bench press, some pulls. Did we do a pull? I feel like we must have. Yeah, I did a single arm dumbbell row and a lunge pattern. So I did the 5 big pretty movements, like pretty fundamental. We'll go into more like overhead stuff after level 3. And it's so annoying. In their assessments, they have to do 1 functional exercise. So funny. But in the book,
to dysfunctional exercise.
Yeah, I was like, all this stuff has been dysfunctional so far. They knew my thoughts going into that. And then, like in the book, basically all the exercises that are under the functional exercise description have either got a medicine ball or a viper. So we're like, just use that. Don't care what you do with it, but do that. Like the amount of Russian twists I saw on the weekend is insane. I don't think I've ever purposely programmed a Russian twist, but they'll obviously level 2, like at that level, I probably did. And as you go forward further in your career, you realize there's more cool, funky stuff to do, which will be more benefit. But they'll learn that once they'll be some of the first people to do PT core. So I literally finished the core section and the carry section today. So you've got a world of delights. I think like 20 videoed exercise in the core section. Crack on, do that, fill your boots. Yeah. But basically we had a little thing about I had a little thing about scaring them away from the barbell, essentially, as it's quite an eclectic mix of people in there. But it just seems there should be like godly right to start using barbells, and that it's like the equipment to aspire to and get the most benefit from. It's like the most loaded up, all this kind of stuff. But myself and Daniel would probably concur here and say the barbell is probably the most overhyped piece of equipment in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the most.
I think if all barbells removed from all gyms in the world, I wouldn't be bothered.
Honestly, yeah.
And I don't think anyone else should be bothered based on what they other than powerlifters probably, and Olympic lifters. But yeah, like for everyday population, for everyday people, they are overhyped, overused, overrated. And to be honest, there's just far better tools to be using than a barbell. And I just think it's, like we said before, it's just, they're just overrated. And I think any good trainer could comfortably train every single one of their clients, PT client, general pop clients, forever with never using a barbell ever. And I stand by that. And I think that's legit. I can't think of any reason why that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this because we're talking about goblet squats versus back squats. Like Tom didn't actually know that I talked about this week on my stories, but I talked about this, and my
Haven't
coach
been
has
on
got me doing.
Instagram, literally.
Yeah, my coach has got me doing like heavy ass goblet squats. Again, one of the reasons that I went with Justin, my coach, is that I
Whoa.
know
You're
from
doing
following him.
I'm doing heavy ass goblet squats as well.
Yeah.
I mean...
The only reason, like one of the reasons I started working with him was because I followed him for long enough and realized his training ethos was just absolutely spot on for what I would want, or what I would suggest, what Tom would suggest, what any good PT should be. And he's got me doing heavy ass goblet squats. I was doing like 50 kilo goblet squats with 3 sets of 4. People are like, oh, you do goblets with 3 sets? Yeah. Why would you not do it for 4? What's wrong with that? Like, do it for 5 if you want, or 6 or 7. Why not 7? But yeah, it was one of those, and like I had to do some holds in it. And anyway, I was really, really sore, like much more sore than I sometimes am from doing back squatting. And it's just funny how people look at that and go, oh, like 45 kilo, 50 kilo goblet squat, and like, what's the point? And I'm like, well, it definitely is harder, in my opinion, doing a 100 kilo back squat, 100%. But it's one of those things where it actually shows more control of your movement, of your body, of your range of motion, of core stability, of loads of other things than a barbell back squat does. And I just think that so many trainers are rushing to get their clients using a barbell, and they don't need to. Like, there's so many good benefits you can get from so many other exercises. And I think the barbell is probably the most intimidating bit of kit for most people in the gym, I would say. And I just think it's pointless. Like
you think how big it is and how much setup it needs, like for number one. So like automatically you have to lift. I said like 30 kilos. You have to have that capability, because to put 2 things on the side and start lifting it as 30 kilos, right? 20 kilos if you're just using the barbell, but you're not going to be doing that deadlifting anyway. So to squat, yeah, fine. And then, yeah, you've got to like manhandle 2 weights onto the side of it, put clips on, possibly use a rack and a barbell, or use a large amount of gym floor space. And I'm like, that's a lot. That's 5 minutes setup time, most, like on and off, really, that maybe some people don't have. And it seems barbaric to me, thinking like, oh, they'll be confident if somebody's given that confidence to set that up all the time, especially if they're an online client. Like, just I'd be like, no. Like, you much prefer find a little bit in the gym and be able to set up your free exercises within a square foot of each other and be like, let's do that there. So what I've decided to do here, Daniel, is I did a little quick write up whilst we were chatting pre-record. So we've got squats, benches or pushes, if you will, horizontal wise, deadlifts, split squats, lunges, horizontal pulls, overhead pushes and pulls. And we will name the barbell exercise, and we will say whether it is overrated or sits all right. And we will give what we would do if we weren't doing that, or which one, if we'd be like, that's actually the gold standard, or is there a thing that we might do that's probably better and in the long term nicer? So we'll give a little mark. So what we got 8 different categories. We can go barbell or not. We'll call it that. It's a new game. Barbell or not, barbell or not, barbell or not. Yeah, it's got its own jingle now.
Perfect.
All right, so number 1, I think everybody already knows where this is going. Squats. So probably so we do not need it. So barbell or not? Not. So we would do a goblet squat more than likely. The only plausibility for the barbell is learning how to front squat, probably would be quite nice. But then again, just a heavy ass goblet squat would do exactly the same job. That's it. I say
elevated split squat, front for elevated split squat.
Whoa. They ain't squats. They're in the split squat category, my friend.
Oh, is there a split squat category, is there?
There is, yeah. You're speaking to me here. There definitely is a split squat category. I was trying to explain to everybody, I was like, there's symmetrical squats and asymmetrical squats. They are not in the same category. Thank you very much. They do different things. There's a prerequisite of complete hip extension on that back leg, where there is not on the front leg. So don't think they're doing the same thing. Your pelvis is locked into a different position. So yeah, they're different. Okay. But split squats, if by the way, split squats over normal squats any fucking day of the week. Thank you very much. Yeah, believe it or not, people when they move don't tend to do everything from a perfect symmetrical stance. Doesn't happen. So split squats all day over. But anyway, yeah. So barbell or not? Not. Yeah. Goblet squats. Are we going goblet squats? That'll be our recommendation.
Yep, or landmine goblet squats if you wanted to
load. There we go. Everybody's really looking forward to my landmine lesson on PT Core. I almost put that up because there isn't.
That'll be an 8-hour long fucking video. That
there isn't a landmine lesson. There is the landmine being used, correct? But there is not a landmine lesson. It is one of my baseline movements, though. Yeah, you'll look forward to that.
That was the argument people get with goblet squats. So it's like, oh, you can't load. You only go to the heaviest dumbbell. It's like, no, get a landmine. It's easy.
Get a landmine, crack on. Get your gym to get one of those Viking press grips.
Load and then that bad boy up.
You're cooking with gas. Yeah. Same amount of bullshit. And then and I'm sorry, you can't load it up correctly because I was just about to ask you dumbbell or kettlebell in terms of loading for goblet squats.
Dumbbell,
correct. But if you wanted to load it a little bit more, you can go 2 kettlebell high rack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go if you're able to clean 30 kilos. Suddenly you got a 60 kilo goblet in theory. Yeah, so that argument doesn't stand up with me. Thank you very much. All right, so barbell or not? Push horizontal. I think the standard would be a barbell bench press.
Oh, fucking dumbbell bench press every day. Anyway, even if you're into your bodybuilding, you know that. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
So yeah, barbell or not is not. I would agree. I would prefer somebody to dumbbell bench press, mainly because of the grip and the irritability of your acromioclavicular joint. That is mainly the issue. And the fact is people, then end up bench pressing right next to their shoulders. There's a possibility of that happening. And I'd rather them keep them nice and soft, nice and safe. So naturally you end up doing this nice little 45 degree just off angle. And it's a lovely job. Stop pronating and cranking your shoulder as high as possible just because you think that stretch is happening through your chest. No, wait, that's your tendon. All right, wonderful. Never good. Who wouldn't want to stretch their tendons out? Who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't? No. Okay, so barbell or not? Deadlifts.
Is there a single leg variety of deadlifts or not? Because there's single leg versus squats.
I actually haven't. So if we were then doing this PTC wise, I would have hinges and single leg deadlifts as completely different categories. That's a peek behind the curtain. You got to subscribe to PT Core when we release the date.
The deadlift is the only one deadlift's the only one that I think you may need the barbell, because I think with kettlebells you're probably not going to have enough. Again, 2 kettlebells. It's all right, but again, it's somewhat limited. And then even with there, you're going dumbbell RDLs. Again, it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, that's fine, but you need a bit of weight on there. And then single leg RDLs, again, it's good for dumbbells up to a certain point, but I think actual deadlifting is probably need a barbell.
I'm guessing we're putting the trap bar in barbells, yeah. So variations of bars, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think the barbell deadlift is the one out of all those things we've described that I actually don't mind seeing more of. But again, it's one of those where it's only because I think with deadlifts people can progress through dumbbells, kettlebells and stuff quite quickly, because you can get quite strong with that quite quickly. Whereas with squatting, like I said, I could happily get someone Bulgarian squatting 50 kilo goblets. Like that's a lot of strength, but you can get someone quite quickly to kettlebell deadlift 40-50 kilos quite comfortably. And that's just it's more from a loading point of view, the amount of weight you need to perform a deadlift properly, that the barbell is just the best tool to use for that.
I would agree.
But even still, I'd rather a trap bar over a barbell every day.
Oh yeah, but we'll put
barbell's still pointless. But
technical glitch will say that the trap bar is a barbell, which it is. So it's one unit that's big. So we'll put it in that. We'll give it a barbell. So barbell got one so far. It's scary. All right, next one. Split squats. Barbell or not?
No.
Not 100% not. What are you doing? Like split squats, the point of like you can load them. Yeah, I get that. People have seen me doing it that way, because I use a safety bar more than a normal barbell. But for most population, I would rather you goblet split squatting and suitcase split squatting, and probably loading the fuck out of a normal split squat, and then a front foot elevated split squat, and then a rear foot elevated split squat before you touch the barbell split squat. So I think there's so much you can do. And then the loading, I realized the loading only becomes a limitation when you can't hold that much in your suitcase kind of lift. And then you struggle to get there because, like, guess what? Goblet split squats are fucking hard. Like, you have to do it twice because there's 2 legs. So yeah, it's even more annoying. They're in my plan right now. Just normal split squats. Goblet split squats are in my plan. No rear foot elevated stuff that Dan loves to put in. Even that's like down the chain. And then with this as well, as we stuck into the lunge pattern, perfectly all right if you want to hold something to the side. Like if you want to have a little hand on the wall or whatever. Don't think you're less of a human being. Just means you care about compensatory movement patterns. So all you do is just greasing that groove when you're realizing that you need a little bit of help. And trust me, once you overload that particular groove and you've got that help, it will be stronger and you'll be able to do it far easier and like after time, and you will get there with that movement pattern. It's a perfectly valid way of progressing. It's just a point of contact progression. And it's something we write in and do. We'll be like, all right, I want you to hold, like, it'll be like, hold the wall. And then the next stage, I want you to hold a TRX because it's changeable. And then it'll be like, take it, hold away. So lovely. But slightly off top, barbell or not? No, not. Fuck off. We don't want to drop the fucking barbell on your back leg either. Jesus. Imagine that. All right. Hinges. Not hinges, I guess. Bridges. There we go.
Another one probably easier. I think single leg versions of bridges and single leg stuff with dumbbells can be done to a certain point, but I think to maximize performance in that movement, you're gonna probably need a barbell.
I agree. This is the one that I refuse to teach dumbbell load and kettlebell load because I think it looks weird and it's really uncomfortable. I would 1,000% rather somebody. So when they're doing with me, okay. So when they're doing single leg bridges, I don't really load them. If I were to load them, I'd load them with a band over the top of them. And when I do load them, I'm going to load them B stance with a barbell. Just because I think the kettlebell and the dumbbell looks weird and it's awkward to hold. And I think the amount you're adjusting it and kind of fucking up the exercise outweighs the amount like of benefit you get from just doing a B stance. So, and then you've got both your hips there that you can like do, and you can use a barbell. So I agree. Bridges, barbell. Lovely. Single leg hinges. Barbell or not?
No.
Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. I like some of them. Like it's pretty cool when somebody's like single leg bridging and stuff for like heavy, but then I feel like you can just use 2 kettlebells for that. Like you're not going much higher than like 80 kilos if you're really like doing it, stuff like that. So yeah, I'd expect most people to be single leg RDL in, single leg deadlift in. By the way, single leg RDL and a single leg deadlift are different things. One has a lot more knee flexion and you put the fucking weight down and then pull from one leg. Yeah. I feel like it's lost in the world of PT sometimes. And they're like, no, it's only an RDL. You don't touch the floor. I'm like, yeah, but you can. Why wouldn't you? Get that leg bent. But SLDL and SLRDL. Yeah, so I think yeah. And with the cable machine, it's probably what we see a lot of people load them with. Lovely. All right. Last of the lowers. Lunges. Barbell or not?
No. Absolutely not.
Yep, agree. Number 1, we do not forward lunge unless for accelerative purposes, and we don't load. Number 2, we got lateral lunges. Could you imagine barbell in that? Dan just threw up in his mouth. Don't want to see that.
Good luck.
No matter how many Instagram influencers could do it. And with the whole, we've seen the like, I'm sure there's people on this podcast people listening to this podcast who've done the old forward lunge, like with a barbell, and like walking lunges with a barbell. Who's got that kind of space? That's insane. And then the reverse lunges with a barbell, I can see the plausibility of it, and that's the only one you'd possibly do. But I still think the benefit's there just to goblet load it, and that's about it. I think there's too much that could go wrong just for the ability to bail out. And there's a lot of this like quick stepping into it. So be able to drop your dumbbells to the side of you and in front of you outweighs the benefit of possibly fucking up. Lovely. So not. All right, it's just going well for the barbell. We're 7 exercises in and they've got 2. So that's good work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got horizontal pulls. Barbell or not. So the traditional one is obviously a bent over row. See a lot in the gym.
No, don't need it.
Definitely not. Absolutely not. You want to be cable rowing and you want to be single arm dumbbell rowing. Full stop. If you only do those horizontal rows on a TRX row, maybe. The only way I'd use a barbell is for these. Sometimes, obviously, powerlifters, I'd program pendulum rows in, but that's because of power development. I wanted to get used to that hinge pattern at the base. But I sometimes do under rows, inverted rows. But that's because the barbell's like set on the rack. It's not really used for anything else.
It's just an ornament.
Yeah,
it's just useful.
Yeah. So absolutely not. I don't think it's needed. Bent over rows are like the last thing on the spectrum of like rowing as well. It's crazy how that's like, this is the normal one we do. What about the 20 we missed before, like doing all this stuff? Oh, yeah, it's insane, isn't it? So horizontal row, bob or not? None. Good. None. All right. Vertical pull.
That'd be a fucking effort, wouldn't it?
I think this is unfair because, why the hell would you use one? Not. And then the last one, number 10, is our overhead presses.
No.
Yeah, overhead pushes, overhead presses. Yeah, no. Vertical push. No, it's just like the like standard ones. Again, you got landmines, you got just single arm dumbbell and half kneeling or standing or staggered or bilateral. It's fine. I think they're all good. Like kettlebells and dumbbells is all I would need. Yeah, if you want to go full Joel Seedman and start pressing the trap bar over your head, then crack on. But
fucking pointless.
The overhead presses are fine. They're fine, but I just don't really program them. I program in a half kneeling position most of the time, or like a isometric split squat position when I really want to overload them. And people tend to struggle. Like most general population, I'm impressed when they get to about pushing 20 kilos above their head on a single arm half kneeling like push.
Yeah, like
that's pretty good. To be honest, I would take that for some sort of decent form and staying nice and central. Because it's like a overhead press is about anti-thoracic extension, really, and pressing something overhead in anti-thoracic extension. And then suddenly you get that position combined with anti-lateral flexion of the torso. Then that's what you do. Lovely. So music to our ears, Daniel. Out of 10 fundamental movement patterns that we would program, we've left off core and carries because there's a self-explanatory, you wouldn't use them anyway. No. So all of these fundamental patterns that people see in the gym, and these are the things that keep you going. 2 out of 10 we would program willfully a barbell for. That's like damning, isn't it, really? And then for those 2 we could still accommodate, basically, we think. And
that's just for general pop. Most people, you could still get them to that point. And okay, if they could only deadlift a max weight, which might be 240 kilo kettlebells, and they could only bridge the max weight on a single leg, which might be like some bands maybe or something, I'd still get them where they need to be doing that, and all the other stuff maxed out. Be fine. Wouldn't worry about it.
No.
It's not making or breaking results stuff. You know?
I think that was good. That was good. Nice and informative. I think people get our view. Obviously, we are about, mate, the 90%, not the 10%. So 95% of your clients will have a strong benefit based off that. Yeah. And then the other 5%, I really want to do barbell. Then teach them. If they really want to learn how to do that, then crack on. I don't have many people who want to learn how to use the barbell that often. They don't. I think they just trust. There might be some people. They get bored with me. But anyway, mate, lovely, nice and informative. Well done. And a new game, barbell or not.
Barbell or not. There you go. We could just do that random exercises now. Would you use a barbell with this or not?
I'm just going to walk into the gym tomorrow and just say it, people. But like one exercise, barbell or not. Like, I don't listen to your show, Tom. Okay, wonderful. All right. Lovely, mate. Any other business?
No, not for me.
No, not for me actually. So all good. All good.
You want to watch football, don't you? You want to go watch football? Okay, can't wait to get off and watch
football. The European Super League lasted long. I'm glad we talked about that last time. Although when we were talking about it, basically it was failing. So yeah, I was like, oh, we should just deleted that segment. So anyway, waste of time. And yeah, apparently Spotify and then then I buy Arsenal. So that'd be fun. And my team, Southend United, hopefully they get bought out by a consortium with Stan Collymore. That can only go well.
Oh wow! Yeah, just what you want to hear, isn't it?
Just when we're getting relegated into the National League. So yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good. I'm going to go watch some National League next year. That'll be fun.
Good luck.
That'll be depressing, but fun. Yeah, I'll be able to get a ticket. Do you want a ticket, Dan? I don't think there'll be many people.
I'm good, mate. I'm doing anything else. Anything else.
Okay, yeah, I'll pick a Saturday. It'll be fun. All right, mate. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.